Welcome back to the Sort of Truth podcast on the All the Things Podcast Network, the alcohol-fueled chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sort of Truth series with a Bandu box of craft brew on the side. I'm Jade.
And I'm Nate, and today we're crawling through chapter 46 of Stone of Tears.
Heck yeah, we are.
Seems like an appropriate chapter because of all the scariness of Halloween is going on. Yesterday was Halloween while we recorded this, so it'll be a couple of days ago when you hear it. But, yeah, it's... well, it's not great.
It's a darker chapter, that's for sure. So, when we left Kahlan, she had dramatically fallen asleep, and me and Nate had made a couple jokes about it, and we were, fairly convinced that she was just, super fucking tired and definitely not poisoned.
It was weird the way that her arm went numb. And like I was saying in the last episode, she wasn't in the bath. So I was like, well, I get it if she was in a nice warm bath and she fell asleep. But this was not that.
It kind of evoked Snow White vibes when she takes a bite of the apple and then she falls down and drops the apple and it spins away.
Oh, yeah.
But I was fairly confident. Nah, she's just tired. Yeah, I was wrong. Because Kahlan has fallen into a forsaken nowhere sleep. She's not resting comfortably like she's supposed to be. It's fitful and not great.
When Captain Ryan wakes her up, right, because he's eventually able to wake her up, we hear him saying in her dreamlike state, Mother Confessor, and she's like, no, that's not my name. And then, Kahlan, oh, yeah, that's me. I guess I'm going to wake up. Drug-like, obviously. That's not just regular sleep. Granted, she was tired, but I don't think that accounts for as wild a dream as this was.
Yeah, she was fucking tired, but she's never been like this when she's been tired. She's been real tired before, so this is weird. And when she finally wakes up, she has a pounding headache. So she starts to try and wake up and be like, all right, man, we're gonna go. I'll help you fucking fight the people. And Captain Ryan is like, hey, man, you still look like you should sleep.
Just like in the last chapter, you look like shit. No, really, really awful. It's bad.
Real bad.
It's bad. You gotta go to sleep. Just please go.
And she agrees with him, which is something out of the ordinary. She never fucking agrees with people when they're like, hey, you should take care of yourself. She's always defiantly fuck you, I'm not going to. But yeah, she's gonna sleep now. But she breaks it to him that they actually are going to take off after she gets up because she decided last night she can't be here anymore. We're gonna go.
Just calling another audible on the plan. Now, we knew that this was going to happen, and Captain Ryan knew eventually it was going to happen, but it really made it sound like Kahlan was going to be staying for at least a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So when she wakes up out of this sleep and goes, hey, not only am I not helping right now, change of plans, I'm going to go back to sleep, which I personally totally understand.
Yeah.
No, we're just going to snooze this one, keep the alarm coming. Give me 10 more minutes. But then she's not staying with the army. She wants to head to Aidendrill now. And he takes that super well. Of course, I don't see him really being able to have a problem with it because she is the Mother Confessor.
Yeah, he does take it well, and I imagine he probably would no matter what, because like you said, he's following orders. But it was funny how okay, cool, you're gonna go. Even though you gave me so much shit about making sure that you got fucking woken up this morning so you could come with us. Yeah, fine, great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It just kind of strikes me as odd because keeping morale up was very, very important to her last night.
Yeah.
And I don't really think she's trying to be a bitch to any of these guys, because we know she's not.
Right.
But it does kind of look that way. Like, hey, I'm going to fight alongside you. You did the first one, which doesn't mean nothing. Okay. Nope. It's very meaningful, in fact. But then, they expect you to continue to do that, and now you're not.
Well, and to the other men, it kind of looks like, oh, you did that with us, and it was harder than you thought, so you're more tired than you thought you would be.
You're quitting?
But guess who has to get up this morning?
Yeah.
Even though we're tired, too. Cool. Enjoy Aidendrill.
Awesome. Have a nice vacation. We'll be here.
Dying. Kahlan then tells Toss to tell Chan that once the attack's over, we're all going to take the fuck off. she's gonna go back to sleep, but Ryan insists on leaving men with her, which is a good idea.
Yeah, that's smart.
She tries to wave him off. It was very weird to me that she was like, nah, the camp's hidden. I'm fine. Leave me vulnerable and alone. And no, you're
right.
You're being stupid right now.
You're the in charge person. We need you alive. You're the mother confessor. You're the only confessor. You're technically I guess she wouldn't be the queen of Galea right now, but she is the leader of this army. Number 1 officer.
Plus, she's talking about how bad she needs to get to Aidendrill to help everybody else, and you can't do that if you're dead. And you know that you're fucking weak right now. So, guards?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's no situation here where guards wouldn't be a necessity.
Even when it's just you and one other person, like, traveling through the world. Even when it's just her and, like, Richard, or her and Chase, or somebody's always standing watch. Nobody ever sleeps by themselves. You don't wave. It was just a weird thing that I was like, no, the fuck, you're not waving the guards off, Kahlan.
So when Kahlan goes back to sleep, she goes back into this weird, void, dreamlike state, even though she tries her best to avoid it. She can't. And this lends to it's drugs. Right?
I agree.
She can't pull herself out of it.
I do think that when I'm sleeping, I'm not in control of anything, so that was a little bit weird to me that they were like, she's trying to control it. No, if you fucking fall asleep, you're fucking falling asleep. You're not like, let me drift through my dreams the way I want to.
Yeah, I don't have dreams like that. I've never been able to control anything in any of my dreams.
Yeah, there's usually not a consciousness once you go to sleep, and this is implying that she has some, which does lend, I think, to the drug. She's not sleeping, she's like comatose, kind of.
And it all comes full circle. Kahlan is now finally tripping balls.
Bad trip, though.
Bad trip, yeah, no. Poor Kahlan. She isn't able to think, only knew something was wrong. She finally starts focusing on needing to help Richard instead of giving into the dark, and she claws her way out of it. Which, like you were saying, she is still awake. She just feels herself slipping. She's not all the way out yet. But she's like, when you have the spins,
yeah,
you have to lay down on the bed and put your foot on the floor and like brace yourself, and then you can stop the spins from happening and get your wits about you.
Ground yourself a little bit. Yeah.
Once that happens, then you can get up and walk around, but not before then. No, if you try before then, you're going to fall.
And I feel like, you know what, this kind of tracks too, because when she wakes up, she still feels shitty and like pains all over her body, and she figures that maybe cold air is going to help, and she crawls her ass out of the sleeping shelter into the cold air. And I've done that a couple times where I'm just like, I feel like shit. I'm going to crawl until I can feel the outside air, and then I can maybe live some more.
Are you talking about for a hangover?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you not? Is this...
Oh, no. I've done every sort of thing to help get comfortable in a hangover situation. You ever stick your head in the freezer?
Oh.
It's the same. Like, if it's outside and it's cold, you know, wintertime, then you can walk out there to get the... But, like, in the middle of the summer when it's hot everywhere, you just stick your head right in there and... Ooh.
Yeah, when you're just, like, breathing in the wet, and then, you're like, I can't do this hot anymore. Yeah.
Copious amounts of, water, vitamins, and painkillers. Until it all just stops. Which is probably not the recommended way to deal with that, but it works.
I mean, I would assume that the recommended way to deal with it is drinking less, probably, but whatever.
What? That couldn't possibly be a thing.
So Kahlan gets out of the sleeping shelter, she stands up on some wobbly-ass legs, and then immediately falls down and is staring in a dead man's face.
Oh, shit. This is not supposed to be here. Surprise. Oh.
Well, you're having a bad morning too, huh?
And this had to happen because there would have been no point to the previous conversation about, no, don't even worry about the guards.
Right.
They don't have to be in here. No, of course they fucking do. And now they're dead. And so Kahlan immediately learns her lesson. Okay? guards is a yes. Whenever
Yes.
you're asked, hey, okay, she wasn't asked. She was kind of voluntold to have guards. But whenever you're asked, do you want to guard, you say yes.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you. But now she's in this incredibly vulnerable situation. She's drugged. She has a headache. So her senses, I'm assuming, are dulled. If it's like a migraine, fucking ow.
Yeah.
It's not looking very good for her.
Yeah, and I mean, all these guys were killed without a chance to pull their weapon, stealthy-like. And she thinks maybe this is what woke her up because, it's weird that it's just happened. They're all fucking warm still. And she has the thought about how maybe they're still all around, and yeah, they are.
Probably. You said the dead bodies were just killed because they're still warm and they're still well, she must be able to tell some kind of gross way, but obviously whoever did that to get to you. All the guards guarding you are dead. Where do you think they're coming?
Exactly. All the guards guarding you are stealthy killed. They're not going to be like, oh, well, that was the mission.
Man,
bye now.
We could have totally killed her had we wanted to. Let's head back in.
Yeah. I wonder what's in this thing that all these guys are standing around. Must not be anything important. I'm not going to check.
So the men of the order start coming out of the trees. This is a fucking attack. Riggs is leading these guys with his nasty face. He starts talking to Kahlan because just like in the last chapter where Kahlan comes back from the attack and all of our people just kind of, I found you in a sea of 1,000 people.
Yeah.
This same thing happens again. They're like, we're leading this. Oh, there's Kahlan. And immediately makes contact with person number 1 of the military.
Yeah.
Very weird. Does not happen like that often.
Well, I mean, they're like a pack of hyenas, and he is the lead hyena.
Well, that's true. And this hyena gets knocked the fuck out temporarily by Orsk, who sees him making a beeline for Kahlan, and he, I don't know, clotheslined, maybe running drop kick. Any of those would have been sweet. But Kahlan gets a chance to run, which is wildly important because we know that Riggs has a personal vendetta against Kahlan and definitely wants to kill her.
Yeah, he's like, I'm about to fuck you up. And then Orsk is like, the fuck you are.
So it doesn't help a whole lot, though, because Kahlan's dizzy. She can't run very well. Even if she gets a minute to escape, she's not with it. Her legs feel like fucking rope. Not ideal woods running situation.
No, honestly, I would not be great running in the woods, on a normal day, super great and, healthy. I would be falling on my face. So if you tried to do it while dizzy and, fucked up, it would not happen.
Good fucking luck.
The killer would have me.
This is why the horror movies always end up in the woods, because otherwise they'll just run away.
This is a horror movie. Kahlan just needs to have her white t-shirt get a little bit wet. And then we're there. Which I think happens with the snow. She gets hit by a lot of snow. If this was a movie, 100% she would have nipples showing and just, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a huge snow fight, and then she'd have to run through the mysterious hot box so it all melts, and then there you go. Wet t-shirt.
Yeah.
This is a completely different story now.
With her heaving breasts. As she runs.
I have to run this way in super slow motion.
And then she trips because bitches always be tripping.
Mm-hmm. That's why they get got. Wow, I feel like we diverted. Anyway, so Riggs ends up tackling her and punching her into the side a few times before telling her that she was fucked. Or more rather, that she's going to be fucked.
Yeah. He's got her.
We were talking about this a little bit earlier, and Kahlan, for being into the second book, has an incredibly high potential